Hey there, folks. It is your delicious boy B3 back with another fantastic graphic novel review. Today, we are looking at the Hellboy Weird Tales Omnibus. This is a collection that is complete of itself. I love the MIGNOLAVERSE. I know he doesn't like that it's called that, but it's your fault for being talented, dude. I saw a lot of stuff about it in his documentary. I feel like I've referenced the documentary about him that came out a year or two ago in these books when I review them a lot, but I never say I got a lot of the info about him from that documentary. It was good stuff. Anyway, let me read you the back of the book. Indeed. Some of the best writers and artists in comics team up to present stories of giant bats, demon children, jetpacks, haunted circuses, and rusted-out spaceships. It's old-fashioned pulp from old-fashioned pulp fun, featuring one of the greatest heroes of modern comics. Join Hellboy creator Mike Mignola and a slew of talented collaborators for this spooky selection of truly weird tales, collected for the first time in paperback. Awesome. So, it also has a reading order for like the library editions and stuff in the back. And, well, it's not really a reading order. It's just kind of a checklist. It's a checklist. There are Hellboy novels. Not sure I'll end up reading those or listening to audio dramas and stuff. Maybe after I've finished all the comics, I can go in and be like, well, I want more Hellboy, so let's do that. But yeah, there is kind of a checklist in the back. And most of the stories in this, by the way, they are not canon. They're not canon. They're just fun stories that let other creators explore with the characters. Right? The cover art's by Mignola and Dave Stewart, etc. And there's a huge list of creative people that worked on this that I really just don't have time to list them all. But there are 2 stories in this collected in a trade for the first time, which is awesome. How, I always say Koichi, which I know is wrong, how Koshche became deathless. I'm going to keep calling him Koichi until he uses his stand. How Koichi became deathless by Mike Mignola, and Baba Yaga's Feast by Mike Mignola. Those are both collected in here for the first time. I don't think Baba Yaga's Feast is canon. It's not canon. But How Koichi Became Deathless is canon. And then there's a lot more stories in here. The Children of the Black Mound, Lobster Johnson, Active Detective Adventure, Midnight Cowboy, Haunted, Love Story, Hot, Flight Risk, Family Story, Shattered, Love is Scarier Than Death, Command Performance, Big Top Hellboy, Theater of the Dead, Abe Sapien, Star of the b.r.p.d, 15 Minutes, Stillborn, The Dread Within, Cool Your Head, Downtime, Friday, Professional Help, Party Pooper, Curse of the Haunted Doily, Long Distance Caller, My Vacation in Hell, and then in the back, The Gallery. So we're going to talk about how Koichi, whose name is not Koichi, became deathless. Really cool story with this great warrior who kind of works for this dragon. And the fact that he is deathless leads him to leave this great, incredible life. But he's murdered in his own bed while he sleeps, and he's chopped up, and the dragon finds out about it. And he's not happy about it. He considered Koichi a son after a while. And he brings him back and gives him his soul in a little bottle. And this is a great legend. And he's like, yeah, your heart beats and stuff, your lungs work, blah, blah, blah. But your soul is separate so that you don't, die and stuff. So they put his soul in an egg, which they put inside a duck, which they put inside a rabbit, and they put the rabbit inside a goat. But I feel like maybe it'd be easier to fit the rabbit in the duck? You know what I mean? That feels like it would be easier. Much, much easier. But Koichi, a man who was once actually pretty merciful on the battlefield, now, without his soul in his body, is much more cold. Emotions don't come to him as easy, and neither does empathy. He no longer knows mercy. And then the Baba Yaga's feast is a fun little story. She kidnaps this guy, and she wants her daughter to cook him up for dinner. And he tricks her daughter into getting into the pot. He cooks her and then serves Baba Yaga her own daughter. Absolutely insane. Now that I'm reading this, I that is canon. I think the story I was thinking of was Children of the Black Mound. I think I had that swapped in my head. Children of the Black Mound is a story with Baba Yaga. That's not canon. She's just defeated by like a priest. It's a good story though. And then you have this old-timey Lobster Johnson comic, etc., etc. I don't want to go through every story here, but some are about like Hellboy as a kid, and some are much more comedic in nature, like with these funny ghosts watching Hellboy and making fun of him, and he's like, I don't think this place is haunted, but we as the reader can see all the ghosts, and they're like intentionally not doing stuff so Hellboy doesn't find them, but the place is actually lousy with ghosts. There's a lot of great little stories in here. Not all of them tickled my fancy. Some had art styles I wasn't too into. Some had art styles I adored. But it is a good book. I mean, if you're a big Hellboy fan, I guess it's skippable. But you want to know how Koichi became deathless, don't you? That's kind of, I feel like the main selling point of this book is the first two stories, which are canon. And then the rest is kind of just the icing on the cake. I like it. You know, I feel like I'll probably be rereading those first two stories more than I reread a few other things in here. But it's a good book. All in all, definitely worth the purchase. So that is it. Thank you all very much for your support. Please remember to rate, comment, subscribe. Check out all the cool links down below. Once again, if you want to buy some comic books, check out my stores. I have way more in my physical store than I usually do online. Online, it's more like key issues and stuff or rare variants. But that is it. Thank you all once again. See you all next time. Bye for now.